Hey guys, OG Albina here, bringing you guys my APA Little Cup Wi-Fi Week 6 match against Aaron 12 and his Rome Empoleons. Very cool dude. He took over for, I believe it was Dreadful Dragonite this season, so he is kind of getting accustomed to a new team, but from what I've seen so far, he's doing pretty well. So definitely go check him out in the description below if you have not already. Him and all the other coaches will obviously be linked down there. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into team matchup. Just gonna pop my team up on the screen and let you know what I got, what he's got, and then we'll jump right into the game. So our team, if you did forget, consists of the Abra, Scraggy, Honedge, Seal, Swinub, Bonsly, Magby, Flabebe, Teddiursa, and P-Dove, while our opponent's team consists of the Rufflet, Tyrant, Corfish, Litten, Turtwig, Zurl, Sandile, Tentacle, Coughing, and Lilliput. So right off the bat, two quick things to note. I think the biggest threats versus me, which he did, spoilers, end up bringing, are going to be the Rufflet and the Corfish. Corfish is very bulky with an Eviolite, and adaptability crab hammers are something that my team just doesn't appreciate whatsoever. And the Rufflet, I have Bonsly, and that's it. And Bonsly still takes a chunk from Superpower. It still takes a decent little chunk from U-Turn if he's a Scarf set. So it's not the most reliable check in the world. It gets worn down. It's also my rocker this game, and I definitely want to get rocks up this game. So taking those two things on is going to be very finicky, but I think we have the tools to do so. In the 6 that we're bringing, first off is going to be a Focus Sash, Modest Abra with Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind, Thunderwave. I only needed Psychic plus Dazzling Gleam to his team. Calm Mind I'll probably never click. I have it just in case I will need it, but I'll most likely just be clicking Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, and Thunderwave. Thunderwave's a nice last ditch. If I know he's Scarf Rufflet or something like that, and I need to slow it down for the rest of my team, and I still have my Sash intact, I can Thunderwave that thing, or I can Psychic it if I know I can knock it out. I can Thunderwave the Corfish to stop it from getting a bunch of Dragon Dances up and outspeeding everything. I just figure it's a nice move to have overall, and Psychic plus Dazzling Gleam hits his team incredibly hard, especially with the fact that we're able to go Modest. Next up, we have a Choice Scarf Swinub, pretty standard, just Earthquake, Icicle Spear, Ice Shard, and Endeavor. Endeavor's cool in case we get pretty low. We have another Rocker this week, so I didn't really feel the need to throw in Scarf Rocks. Next up, we have an Eviolite, Dragon Dance, Scrafty, pretty similar to the set we brought the week prior that ended up winning as it versus Zombie. We have Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, Knockoffs, and Headbutt. A Berry Juice, Bonsly with Explosion, Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, and Stomping Tantrum. Explosion there for the Corfish. I will not allow that thing to set up. I will 100% boom in that thing's face. I refuse to allow that mon to set up because, again, it kind of just wins versus me. And then we have a Toxic Orb Teddiursa, which is cool. Teddiursa coming off the bench for the first time this week. Rocking out with Protect, Facade, Swords Dance, Play Rough. Hits his team very hard, gives some pretty decent speed control. Very good breaker in this game. If we can get up a Swords Dance, his team just sacks to it. He has nothing for it. And then we have a Belly Drum Magby. This will be very hard to pull off, but I feel if we do get a Belly Drum off successfully, we can kind of just win the game. Mach Punch hits a lot of things very hard. Flame Charge just to get up our speed after we get to +6, so we'll still be killing mostly everything. And then Thunder Punch. So let's just jump right into the actual game, get these off the screen right here. As we see, our opponent ended up bringing the Tentacool, Litten, Sandile, Azurill, Corfish, and Rufflet. Right off the bat, my plan, my mode of thinking was I'm going to lead off with my Bonsly because I could see his Rufflet lead being very likely because that thing does kind of do be super dirty, especially with Scarf. He can scare something out U-turn, get a lot of momentum, and I figure getting out my my Bonsly and potentially even getting out my Stealth Rocks would be absolutely amazing, or even going boom on that Corfish after getting up my rocks or something like that, because it will only bring me down below half. I'll get it back up to sturdy juice range. I'll always be able to live 2 hits from that thing, get up a Stealth Rock, and get off a big explosion. So that is what we are going to do as we jump into this game right here. Oh, this one took a little bit longer to start. Before I had my timing was off right there. Oh man. But we're going to see, we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Aaron, and we're going to lead off with our Bonsly as he ends up leading off with his Tentacool. So very good lead on his part, especially if he's expecting our Bonsly lead, which was pretty obvious, but again, very good hindsight in his end, realizing, hey, I probably shouldn't lead off with my Rufflet because this is pretty likely. So I am going to switch out. I want to preserve this thing sturdy if at all possible, and I don't want to be burned or anything like that. I'm going to go into my Teddiursa. It's the thing I care least about getting burned. As he makes a good play, goes for the knockoff, which sucks because I can't get my Toxic Orb proc this turn. So we are going to be pretty slow right here, but he is going to throw off his Scald, and low-key, I was kind of hoping this would burn because my Playhouse wouldn't be doing anything, but my Facade still would be doing a big chunk. My Facade actually would have ended up knocking out this thing probably if we were boosted by burn. But unfortunately, he is going to live. He is going to reveal Berry Juice to us, get back up to full, And then I believe this turn going to go for another Scald and knock out our Teddiursa. So Teddiursa got to come off the bench this week. It didn't do much. I'm hoping I get to bring it in the next couple weeks before the end of the season to hopefully get it to do something. We haven't really given it much of a chance, though, that's for sure. As I'm going to send out my Swinub right here, I'm going to go for a Choice Scarf Earthquake. I figured he might want to switch, realizing, hey, this is a pretty obvious Scarf Swinub. But in all fairness, I guess he doesn't switch into Swinub at all, really. And getting that information would have been great. And if I would have given him a burn on this thing, that would have been obviously like pretty crazy. But he is going to go into his Rufflet, realizing that I am Choice Scarf. So this is a very free attack, very free U-turn. As I go into my Bonsly, and you're going to see he does end up going for the U-turn to grab a little bit of momentum versus our team. Go out into a bigger threat. And this sucks because it definitely doesn't bring us below half because we are defensive. And this gives him a free switch into the Corphish, which is, again, terrifying. I can't let this thing set up. So I am going to stay in. He does make the correct play, go for the Crab Hammer. I'm not able to get up my rocks, and I'm not able to go kaboom on anything with my Bonsly as it goes down. So this game's looking pretty tough. It's looking pretty tough in a way, like finding a way to win this right here. But I am going to go out into my Abra. He realizes I'm probably Choice Scarf. He's going to switch out right here and go into his Litten. And I'm going to throw off a big Psychic right here. And you can see this isn't a Eviolite Litten because we are able to just clean knock that thing out with a Modest Psychic, which is really cool. Litten obviously not a Dark type like its evolution Cineroar. So we are able to take that thing out, which is great. He's going to go into his... what do you call it? The Rufflet. I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave, I believe, this turn, just in case he wanted to stay in, and I could paralyze this thing. But in all honesty, I probably should have gone for a Psychic. But, you know, you live and you learn, because if he went into the Sandire, that would have been a very rough turn for me. But he doesn't. He goes into the Azurill. He's going to take, you know, the Thunder Wave, get paralyzed. And I know for a fact that this thing does not have Quick Attack, it doesn't have Aqua Gen or anything. I've used it before. So I'm going to go for Psychic, get some much needed chip on this guy right here. Bring it down below half, as he is going to go for a Frustration, knock out my Abra. But Abra did very well this game. It broke through the Azurill, which is shown to be Eviolite. If it wasn't Eviolite, it actually would have died to that hit. But down goes Abra after it takes out the Litten, brings down the Azurill by half. I'm going to go into my Scraggy. I figured this is my best opportunity to win at this point. I can Dragon Dance up on this thing potentially and win the game, as he's going to go out into his Rufflet. And this is a very big play right here. The fact that he went hard into this, one, was a very risky play, but a very good play. He realized, hey, he's probably not going to straight up attack. If I would have just like went for a knockoff, that would have been like absolutely amazing. I could have just, yeah, that would have been absolutely amazing. Made this end game a lot easier. But he is going to make a great play and go into his Rufflet. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, the fact that he went into this, it's Choice Scarf. There's no way that this thing is not Choice Scarfed. If he's going in expecting me to Dragon Dance up, he's probably Choice Scarf. However, I know he's probably Hustle if he wants to do a lot of damage. So in my head, he has to, 1, expect me to stay in with my Scraggy, 2, go for the Brave Bird, and 3, connect the Brave Bird in order to knock me out. And, you know, if he's not Hustle, actually, I think I had a chance to live that hit, potentially. And if he's not Choice Scarf, very good bluff on his end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for another Dragon Dance as he reveals the Aerial Ace. And this is amazing because we are going to live this due to our immense bulk that we're carrying. We're going to get up a second Dragon Dance, which is super clutch. The fact that we lived that in one, honestly, if my Scraggy went down right there, I think the game was over. I don't think I could have I don't think I had a viable win con at that point. I don't know how I would have been able to Dragon Dance up. I mean, Belly Drum up with my Magby at this point. As he is going to switch out, sack off his Azurill right here. And I'm going to get a little bit of health back, which is just the amount I need to be out of range of a Corphish Aqua Jet. Now, I believe the if I remember the rules, an Adamant Adaptability Corphish was doing it needed an absolute max roll. The rolls were either 6 HP or 8 HP, and 8 HP was the max roll it could have gotten. So he's going to go for the Aqua Jet. We are going to live on 1. We're going to get a big Drain Punch off. Shows that he is also Eviolite right here. We're able to bring this thing down really low, and we're able to get out of range of any Aqua Jet at all besides crit. So as long as he does not crit us, we are going to be able to take out this Corphish. He goes for the Aqua Jet, gets another 6 damage roll, and we are able to knock out the Corphish. And this is looking amazing. It's looking like Scraggy is going to pick us up another very big dub this week, being able to get +2 and just kind of run through our opponent's team due to him. Well, I don't blame him going for the Aerial Ace over the Brave Bird. Like, I don't know if he had Brave Bird, but if he ran the Aerial Ace over it, I don't blame him, because the fact that it still hits very, very hard, and doesn't have that risk of missing because of the what do you call it? Because of the hustle. It definitely makes sense, but being that he did want to play a little bit safer, our Scraggy was able to live on just a sliver of HP and completely clean sweep through our opponent's team, as we are able to keep the streak going, go up to 6-0 on the season, as we defeat Aaron 12 and his Roman Empoleon 3-0 this week. So great game to him. He honestly had me in the back foot that whole game. If he would have, had the bravery, like I said, and he would have knocked out my what do you call it? My Scraggy, we would have lost. The game would have been over 100%. So the fact that we kind of got bailed out by him choosing a lower base power move is great. It's very fortunate, and we are able to keep our streak going. I believe we're the 1 seed in the league now. I'm not going to spoil other games, but I think a couple results of other games have, kind of gone up, and we are sitting pretty at top of the league right now. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going into playoffs. I more so care about that playoff run more than I do this regular season one. I would much rather lose my next 3 games or whatever it is, and do well and win the championship in the playoffs, other than go undefeated all the way up to the finals and then lose there. The end goal is, of course, the championship at this point. But again, great game to Aaron. Be sure to go check him out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you didn't enjoy the battle. Just so you can catch our battles as they go up every week. We have this on Sunday, UPBA on Saturday, IBL on Monday, and a couple other really cool leagues coming out. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.